That's right. A moment of silence for our price-hiked brother. You heard it here first. And by here, I do mean CNET, your guide to a better future, which is apparently their tagline. I just found that out because it's on the website. Yes, it's true. The low-cost VR honeymoon is over. Sort of a dramatic way to put it, I think, but, CNET's got to get those clicks. Get ready for a wave of expensive VR headsets, Scott Stein says on July 29th at 5 a.m., or around that time. Even with a $101 price hike, the MetaQuest 2 may be the cheapest of the bunch. And I'm glad that he says $101 because everyone on Twitter has been saying it's a $100 price hike, which is, just incorrect. I wouldn't be upset about 100, but 101, my buttons get pushed. Now, you might be asking yourself, why did this price hike happen? Considering that, consumer hardware almost has never traditionally gotten raised in price by over $100, $101 in this case. And it is an unusual thing. It is. I won't lie. When I saw that they were raising the price, I was a bit perturbed, we'll say that. But I also, sadly, was not surprised. Why was I not surprised? Well, let's let Scott Stein tell us. Call it a summer surprise. No, I said I'm not surprised, but it is summer, so... These aren't normal times, and the Quest 2 was never a normal headset. Yeah, so what Scott's getting at here, and I really appreciate the way he worded it, what Scott's getting at here is essentially what we all knew from the beginning of this. They were selling these headsets at what I assume is a pretty big loss financially because they're trying to get ownership of most of the mind share in the VR consumer space early. That's my reading of it. It's been a lot of people's reading of it. Everyone knows they've been selling it at a loss. I mean, look at Mark's face. He knows. So it really was only a matter of time before they had to find a way to start bringing in some more revenue since they have probably been losing money on the Quest for the past 2 years. And I say probably, but it seems to be definitely based on their earnings calls, which you can look into on other more, money-based YouTube channels, I guess. And now this is where they get into what the real worrying thing is here and why we're saying that the VR honeymoon period is over. And by we, I mean Scott. See, Scott says it's hardly the end of the price increases for VR tech, which is true. Based on what we know about the next wave, they are going to cost more. Anyway, the next section here talks about the next Cambria Quest Pro, which is what is being demoed in this sort of blurry shot that we just commented on. Now, here Scott says that it's expected to cost over $800. I think that's him being a little generous. I've heard numbers in the $1,200 to $1,400 range, which if you're trying to sell to consumers, that's going to be tough. Apple also, he goes on to say, their long-expected VR headset, which I've been waiting for, is now been pushed to 2023, which, were any of us surprised that it got pushed? Anyway, they say that one's probably going to be around $3,000, so basically, if you're planning on getting into high-end VR gaming in the future, I don't know, start saving. Or get a PSVR 2, which seems like it may ultimately be one of the more viable options, but then at the end of the day, you got to spend $500+ on the console, and then who knows, $400+ on the headset. So at the end of the day, it'll still be around $1,000, I'm guessing. So, we're in the part of the era where if we want the tech to be better, it's just going to cost more to make the headsets. And now, I will say that the Quest 2 at $400 isn't going to be totally unreasonable if it continues to get support down the road, I think. So there still will be a lower end option there, but once people start trying the Cambria and seeing the updated resolution and all that, who's going to want to be on the old resolution? That's like wearing bifocals to a place where they have a new form of glasses. I didn't think that through. I don't know anything about glasses. Let's move on. Oh, yeah, so the next paragraph, Scott just makes the same point that I just made about the PSVR. I can tell the future. Even with Meta's many questionable data policies and behaviors, the $100 price increase, blah, blah, blah. So basically, in conclusion, at the end, they basically say, even though they're raising the price by a significant amount in a way that most consumer headsets or hardware has never been raised, it's still cheaper than anything you're going to get, so you better like it. I'm hesitant. I do think it's a gamble. I don't know how it's going to play out, but we'll see. That being said, I do think that if someone else is able to come into the market with something in the range of $300 to $500, for a consumer headset that's at least comparable to the Quest 2, we may have a ball game out there. Again, I'm speaking in metaphors I don't totally want to flesh out. But that's my take, roughly, after having one glance at this well-written article by Scott. Moral of the story is, if you are hoping to get a Quest 2 at $300, as of today, which is August 1st when I'm recording this, you can't do that anymore. It's done. Finito. Fin. Other ways of saying finished. Any last thoughts from me? The answer is no.